Jurassic World Chaos Unleashed is a sort of anthology cinematic series I've been working on in Jurassic World Evolution 2 for a little under a year now. Since none of the episodes really have much narration or context as to the story that they're telling, I thought I'd try to make this kind of explanation of the story behind this little series of mine. I'm pretty sure you could absolutely find enjoyment from the series even without this video, but after hearing some feedback I thought it'd be a good idea to make this for those who might be curious about the direction I'm taking this series and its story. There isn't really that many insane differences from the main Jurassic World timeline, but there are changes, and I thought, I'd list them out for you all. So, shall we begin? My series takes place 3 years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion. Well, most of my series takes place 3 years later. Episode 3 takes place before Dominion because, Rexy's roaming Oregon, and we know where she ends up in the movie. Anyway, as dinosaurs and man struggle to coexist with one another, and the DFW and Biosyn still scrambling together to pick up the pieces left behind in the wake of Sanctuary's fire, and the death of the company's former CEO. How do I put this? You remember how Dominion said it was gonna be about dinosaurs on the mainland? Well, this is actually that this time. The main focus of this series is to show the lives of the dinosaurs across the globe, and how they're surviving in what is an unfamiliar world to them. Of course, there's the species that were let loose from Lockwood Manor during the events of Fallen Kingdom, as well as the purebred species cloned by Biosyn. But there will be many more in this series than just those species. Now, Sorna species are also out in the world now, thanks to poaching in the black market chain, which is why you might see some InGen variants roaming around in the series, like Jurassic Park Trikes, Jurassic Park Paras, Lost World Raptors. But I'll also be including new species that were never seen in any of the parks or sites that may pop up in the series every now and again. For example, in episode 1, the main dinosaur is a Euoplocephalus, alongside a herd of Styracosaurus and Metabarosaurus. But most of those species were not on InGen's list, more or less. Since InGen's technology and genomic library have gone global, who knows what species are being made aside from already cloned species. However, in terms of what I pick, I do like to pick non-canon dinosaurs that at least have some sort of relevance to the Jurassic World franchise. Perhaps they've shown up in a video game, like the Albertosaurus that appears in episode 3, or species from the novels like Styraco and Euoplo, who were mentioned earlier, among a few others. I'm doing this because I just feel like using the same canon species over and over and over again has a chance of getting stale eventually, so I want to expand the roster a little bit. Sure, I do want to stick to canon for the most part. It is meant to be a story set in that universe, or more stories set in that universe. But it's good to have variety, so I'm cool with doing it. But don't expect stuff like Pentaceratops or Gigantospinosaurus anytime soon. And since this series takes place in 2025, the world's dinosaur populations have continued to rapidly increase across all continents, both in natural and unnatural ways, meaning humanity still has to deal with these prehistoric creatures. Organizations like the Department of Fish and Wildlife still work to monitor and protect the prehistoric wildlife. They have rangers patrolling potential dinosaur hotspots, as well as small sanctuaries and outposts scattered across the US, in order to contain and care for the dinosaurs, as well as make sure they don't stray too close to civilization. However, the DFW isn't the only big organization dabbling with dinosaurs. Biosyn still runs the sanctuary in the Dolomites even after Dominion, though now in much better hands, because, the company is now under the guidance of Ramsey Cole, who is seeking to clean up the mess of his former boss. However, despite Biosyn's change of heart, rogue members of the company have been seen continuing Doxon's work of feeding the ever-growing Jurassic World by cloning, releasing, and selling prehistoric creatures. Which is a part of the story based off an ongoing theory that's kind of made its way into the fandom, where it was kind of theorized that Dogson and Biosyn were releasing some of their dinosaurs in order to get paid to clean them up and bring them to Sanctuary. Because let's be real, the world didn't wake up one day and two Quetzalcoatlus suddenly weren't on top of New York City, so yeah. Thanks to this and several other factors, the Amberclave black market chain is still running rampant in select parts of the world, continuing to spread the dinosaurs. And as seen in a few episodes of the series, a certain genetics company is still in the game messing around with dinosaurs, the company that started it all. What are they doing, you may ask? Well, you'll find out eventually. Hopefully. Hope I make it that far. But enough about like the lore and all that. Let's focus on what's actually in the episodes. Normally I like to have the episodes focus on the journey of a specific dinosaur or a specific group of dinosaurs, as we see their everyday lives trying to survive in the modern day ecosystems. Like in episode 1, the main focus is on a Euoplocephalus, which I've nicknamed Ida, who's been traveling alone in the desert after losing her mate. There are several specific individuals in the series that will get their own focus. You could call them characters, but at the end of the day, they're just animals living their lives, like something you'd see in Walking with Dinosaurs or Prehistoric Planet. Of course, there's the canon individuals from the movies, like Rexy/Roberta, the Blues, Bumpy, and Leonard. But there's also individuals I've come out specifically for my series, like the Carnotaurus brothers in episode 6, as well as the Raptor pair in episode 11, the Loner Pachyrhinosaur from episode 8, and the Elder Brachiosaurus roaming Big Rock in the most recent episode 12. However, not all episodes follow the exact same structure. Sometimes the focus is just on one individual, or a group of dinosaurs, or a family. But sometimes episodes won't follow that layout at all. Sometimes episodes have focus on several different species, like in the most recent episode as of this recording, Ballad of Big Rock, where I gave segments of the episode to several different species. Then there's cases where the focus isn't even a dinosaur. Like in episode 2, I focused more on the perspective of a group of people, with the scouting DFW team driving through Yo's... You know what, I'm not even going to pretend I know how to say that. Yosemite? This is the only real case of this focus happening in the series so far. I definitely do want to experiment and expand on what I can do with this series in the future. Like, for example, I'm considering including voice acting in future episodes, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Oh! Speaking of future episodes, while we're here, I might as well give you a little preview of what's up next. What do I have planned, you may ask? Well, see for yourself. And that's all I really have to share at the moment. Don't want to spoil the rest of the series before I even finish it. I'll just say, I have plans. Plans that I'm really hoping will come to pass, if I eventually do complete this series. Dinosaurs and man coexisting on modern-day Earth is honestly a concept I'm really excited to explore. Sure, at the end of the day, they're just cinematics made in Evolution 2, which definitely aren't as grand or high budget as the actual movies, but it's something I really enjoy doing, and I do hope you all are enjoying them. Or maybe this is the first time you've even heard of this series. Maybe this just randomly showed up in your recommended. And if it did, maybe you could go check that series out. Maybe there'll be a video or playlist at the end of this. Maybe? I don't know how to do playlists. Anyway, wish I could upload them more often. My upload schedule seems to be fluctuating between either 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, a couple weeks. There's not really a consistency between them. Though I do hope to pick up the pace on these next couple of months and get a couple more out. But until that day comes, I hope you enjoy this little video, and have at least a little bit of a better understanding of my little series. But that's all for now, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Alright, one more thing. Frontier ad cow.